everyone, my name is REDRUP. This is the It's Not a Phase podcast, and on this episode I'm joined by vocalist Rebekah Kirk and guitarist Dylan McVey of the band Sixth Wonder. As a relatively new band, we talk about how they came to be, their brand new debut EP Prologue, shooting the video for their song Death Departed, winning a Scottish Alternative Music Award, and loads more. But before we get into all of that, I'd really appreciate it if you could take a few seconds of your time right now to support me and the podcast. You can hit subscribe or follow wherever you're checking this out, and that way you also don't miss out on any future episodes. You can leave a review or a comment. You can go and give the podcast a follow on social media. You can sign up to the mailing list if you want email updates. And there's also a Patreon and a web store if you did want to go one step further. To make it super easy for you, I've shoved links to everything that I've just mentioned in the description of this episode, or you can head to itsnotaphase.co.uk. And now, with all that out of the way, here's my chat with Rebekah and Dylan from Sixth Wonder. What's up, everybody? Thank you for joining me on this episode of the It's Not a Phase podcast, where I'm joined by Rebekah and Dylan of Sixth Wonder. How are you both doing today?
Doing good, thank you.
Yeah, great, thank you.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I guess today's a really big day for you guys because obviously release day today of the debut EP Prologue. How's that been going down? How are you feeling about getting this, like, I guess, first collection, this body of work out into the world?
It's been great. We've had so many lovely comments and messages from like everybody so far. It's been really nice to have such a nice reception to the first body of work. So it's fantastic. I've had a lovely day.
Yeah, the response has been really positively overwhelming. Like, it's just been so good to wake up and see people just really appreciating the body of work we've worked so hard to create and put out, and to see it all come full circle and have people respond to it like this has been great.
Yeah. Did you notice, I don't know how much of a fan base you've kind of, accumulated overseas, but did you notice, like, hours before obviously it hit the UK, like, I don't know, people in Australia kind of getting it, and then I guess the other side of Europe and stuff. Did you notice anything like that?
Yeah, the gradual mentions in your story at like midnight and like 10 p.m. before that. It's like,
Yeah.
yes, this is starting to become reality.
Yeah, definitely. I had many reviews as well. Many reviews come in for you guys for the EP.
We've had a couple so far, yeah. It's been pretty nice, and they've all been nice as well, which is also good.
That's always a bonus, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's great.
So yeah, how have the fans been reacting? Because obviously a few songs came out before the EP, like, so this kind of like digested with a few fans already prior to today. But how, like, are there particular songs that people are gravitating towards more, do you think?
I've noticed a good few fans pointing out that the latest track, Death Departed, is now their favourite, like, which is good because like we as a band and a collective have all agreed that that song in particular is important to us because it was the first song we like all came together as a collective and had the song just flow. It was we were in a flow state when writing it, and it came out so naturally, just bouncing ideas off each other, and to see it actually be people's favourite track off the EP is just so cathartic to see.
Yeah, definitely. Especially, I guess, like you say, it's like the new song to them at least, and you put out
Yeah.
a video for it as well, which I think you're in like a derelict kind of car park or building or something like that.
So it's actually a seminary, so like a place
Right.
where priests went to train back in the day. Very highly abandoned now, but
Yeah.
it's a very cool location.
There was lots of water that was like green coloured.
Oh,
There's like what 3 feet of water and holes. There's just green coloured. I don't know what was going on there, but it was a wet and windy day, but it worked very well for the video. I'll say that.
yeah. Well, how was the shoot? I mean, other than obviously the Shrek colored water, like, how was it?
We should have brought wellies, to say the least. There was
Yeah.
so much water everywhere, like what 2 feet deep puddles everywhere. The stairwell we had to come in and out of to go to different locations to shoot each part. Just constant trench foot almost. It was good. It was good vibes, but it was a long day.
Yeah, it did look a bit damp and wet from what I could see in the video.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and we shot the second video, Fawn, which is the first single, back to back, right after that.
Oh,
So
okay.
we were out from like 10 a.m. to like 11 p.m. I think it was very long.
Yeah,
A long
bones were
day.
definitely hurting by the end of that. That was a painful long day.
But you got something good out of it, 2 videos, so
Definitely, yeah.
I
Oh
hope
yeah.
it was worth it.
Shout out
Absolutely,
to
yeah.
JWA Creations for that.
Yeah. Well, it looked as well in that that abandoned area. Like there's loads of litter and stuff all over the place as well, so it didn't look very hygienic.
Yeah, I remember like there's scenes in the video where I'm wearing this big crazy dress and I'm right in the middle of this kind of we assumed it was like a pool or something. But that doesn't really make sense for the location, but who knows what it is. But whatever it was full of water. And before I got into it, I had my lovely team of guys going in and picking out like crisp packets and empty cans and things and clearing the space so I wasn't just treading in like absolute like garbage everywhere. So I thankfully didn't have to do that. I had nails on, so I couldn't go in and do that, but everyone else could, so that's fine.
Everyone else got their hands dirty instead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So yeah, I guess there'll be people listening to this who may not have heard of Sixth Wonder before. They may not know like what you guys are about. They may have just heard you because of the EP like coming out. That's what's kind of brought them to their attention to you. So would you mind just explaining when and how the band got together, like how that all started?
Yeah. So Sixth Wonder, it started as my university project. This was not meant to be a band. This wasn't meant to be what it has become. It was purely to make a grade at uni. But we put out the first song. It was just myself and Nathan at the time who did all of the instrumentation for me. And I just hired him as a session worker. And we put out the first single and it got really well received, which we weren't expecting. So we're like, okay, right, why don't we just make this a band? We'll just go with it. And yeah, I learned how to scream, and then we collected Dylan, and then we collected Sean, and here we are. It was an accidental band, but a happy accident, I guess, because it's
Wow,
worked out very well so far.
wow, that's yeah, that's a bit of a like I say, it's like an unexpected thing. Like you weren't ever planning to make this into obviously what it is today. Like
No, I did pop music before this solo, so like this is quite a different side of the music scheme, I guess.
Big
yeah,
side
yeah,
quest.
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, it became the main quest, but it was the same quest.
Yeah, like you say, like it's gone from what was just like a university project, right, to being not only like a full-fledged band releasing like a full body of work and like you say completely different kind of music if you were into just doing pop before.
Yeah, yeah, it's like the total other side of what I could ever have expected to do. But I'm very glad. I'm very grateful that it has worked out the way that it has.
Yeah. So yeah, it's I think you said so the first song came out, I think it was in 2021, is that right?
Yeah, yeah, it was a while ago. I feel like our sound has changed quite a bit since that first one. But again, that first one was just written by me with like just bass notes on a piano, and I sent like a voice memo to Nathan. I was like, "Can you make this sound like Doomsday by Architects?" And he said, "Absolutely not. We're not doing that." And he gave me what it became.
Yeah, so I guess like from that point, you kind of released sporadic singles up until obviously when you started like rolling out
Mhm.
this EP. So at what point was it then becoming something where it's like, oh, let's kind of make music a bit more often?
I think it was like we were constrained by how expensive it is to record and release music to a very high quality because we pride ourselves on how high quality our production is and our mixing and mastering. So it became just a case of let's try and get more music out more often instead of songs like 2 songs a year, for example, so people could see what more of what we had to offer. Because at that point we had what when I joined the band there was 2 songs out, and then by the time we started doing EP, there was like 6 or 7. So it was good to be like, right, cool, let's get more of a body of work out so people can have more of an idea of like what we have to offer, like wide range of stuff. And then me and Rebecca were like, let's lock in and figure out how to actually get the finances to do an EP. And so we applied to Creative Scotland, and thankfully they supported us with our application, and the EP is now out because of the last part of their help. So we're eternally grateful for the support they've given us.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, it's not cheap at all to record music and get it like produced and engineered everything else like properly, and then on the other side of that is all that kind of behind the scenes stuff. Like once the music's made, that's one thing, but then it's the promo videos and the photo shoots and the going to the gigs and actually getting to the gigs and making the merch and all that kind of stuff. It's
Oh, it
yeah,
never ends. It's a
So,
constant cycle.
just a constant like pit of just money being thrown down there. But
Oh yeah, but it's worth
oh yeah,
it.
yeah, there's that
totally
saying
worth it.
that there's a saying of you can always make more money, but you can't always make memories. So I guess there's
Excellent.
that.
That's
Exactly.
good words to live by.
Yeah. So at what point then was it? Because like you say, you were releasing like singles, and then you wanted to make an EP. So was it a case of you were just writing a few singles here and there until you had an EP, or was the focus always let's make an EP here?
I think everything that we kind of put out before that was just sort of very sporadic, but with this we wanted to create a body of work that all flowed together. So this is a concept EP. So all of the songs tell the one story from start to finish. And we were very conscious of that. I myself writing the lyrics, I was wanting to make sure that everything kind of went together and it just continued on what I was trying to get across. But I feel like that we've managed to do that not just with the lyrics but with the instrumentation as well. And it was a very like collaborative process, which I think is probably our most collaborative work between all of us, to make sure that this is exactly what we wanted. And from start to finish, all of us have had a hand in making it what it is. And we're really, really proud of how we've managed to do that because it's a first for us as a group as well.
Yeah, I guess with a concept as well, like you say, you've got to kind of think a bit more about the journey because especially if
Mm.
you're telling the story, you've got to start and an end. So you've got to not only communicate that through lyrics, but also through the actual music. Yeah.
Yeah, it was good like because each song obviously they've got different themes and it was good to and they all came to start from different places. So one song started with like me and Nathan jamming some riffs and trying to get something together. Another song started with Rebecca singing an a cappella vocal, and
Right.
that was interesting to write to. And then we thematically tried to tie the second song Rope Burn together with like the two contrasting like a back and forth pulling of ideas of should I well not say should I stay or should I go, but kind of like contemplation was the main theme for that song. So having chill verses and really heavy choruses, and the chorus culminating between the scream vocals and the clean vocals could portray those two that theme of contemplation. Like which way is this gonna go? It's very good, and enjoyed that process.
So what is the concept that's kind of running through it? And like what's the story that's kind of being told throughout the duration of Prologue?
So sort of the story of kind of coming to the understanding that you have been betrayed by someone that you thought was on your side and all of the kind of emotions that go with that. So say it kind of starts with like the realization that something isn't right and the sort of how dare you sort of side of things. And then we move to Ropeburn. And that one is our sort of I like to use the term musical whiplash because it is like the back and forth that Dylan was explaining there. Um, the should I stay or should I go, I think perfectly sums it up, and that's what that song is all about. Then we have Guts, which is essentially the big fuck you song. It's the angry one. The word that we wrote at the start was antagonism, and that's what it was to be about, and that's what
Right.
I think that's what we managed to do. Um, and then from there we have our little interlude, who's just like a sort of eerie refresher of like post anger. Taking us into our final song, which is escapism. So moving ourselves away from a negative situation and seeing everything open up. Um, and that's kind of the whole sort of realization of everything. Um, Essentially, it's just the story of pre what we're going to start doing now. That's why we went for prologue, is
Yeah.
it's before the beginning. Like this is us now, and we are ready to show everybody what we've got.
Right. Awesome. And what was kind of inspiring you? Like, but I guess you have like kind of different influences, but what was influencing you to when you were creating this EP? Like, with the particular bands or artists that were inspiring you?
Um,
I think for me, it was a lot of like Silent Planet, Invent Animate sort of things, like those were very heavy influences. A little bit of Paleface Swiss, which is a little bit further away
A little bit
from
different.
everything else. But those kind of specifically on like the kind of metal and like big vocal sides for myself.
Me, I was listening to a lot of like electronic and rap music production at the time, so there's a lot of use of 808s in the EP, which I love. I love a good 808. It's really subby, it's really full, and I wanted to incorporate that and take those bits and bobs that I was hearing. So this metal EP had a bit of extra flavor and didn't just stood on its own basically, or at least tried to.
Yeah, it's got giving it extra kind of textures and different like layers to it as opposed to like just I guess yeah, just kind of like metal and then that's kind of it.
Yeah, totally. Because like I love bands like Pendulum, and their synth and their stuff is insane. Like, um, the album where the island came from, just pure musical production fidelity. It's just so good. Just I geek out over that stuff, man.
So you're a bit of a production nerd, would you say?
Yes, I try.
So do you kind of like do self-production with the band? Like how does that kind of work?
So when we're demoing songs, I'm normally the one we all go to the house to track all the stuff, and then I'll do some like synth work alongside Nathan, and he demos ideas himself at home, and since he also does production stuff as well. But we always kind of like collectively use my space to just form collect everything together to then do pre-production, and then just before we go to record with our producer Stephen Jones. And when we go to Stephen, we just kind of refine it and then get his input into the songs and just go from there. See if we can make the songs any better, which we do. And it's great dynamic we've got going.
Yeah. So your house is kind of like Sixth Wonder HQ then.
Wee bit.
Well, I noticed as well that you've also got something called the Inner Circle, which is like your Patreon fan community thing. What's it been like for you guys? Like, because I guess via Patreon, you're kind of fostering a more intimate kind of connection with the fans that are, I guess, supporting you a little bit more, like going an extra step to support you guys.
Yeah, that's been great. It's been really good to like foster that like inner circle community and be able to let people that really support us in on what's like in for Sixth Wonder, so give them access to our demos, which we don't publicly post. So we feel like having a something giving back to the community almost doing that, and then since they're obviously supporting us a bit more, like you know what, you can have the EP a bit earlier, and then we started doing some pre-gig vlogs as well before some shows, and just uploading them. We want to reward people that support us and give back with extra content that we can here and there. So that's been good. And another really popular thing that I wasn't expecting for the inner circle was how popular digital downloads would be. So
Right.
that's been a good little thing. We could just like, here you go, guys. Like you love the digital downloads, have the songs.
Yeah, it doesn't really cost you anything more to just give it to them, does it? So,
Yeah. We've also got we give them access to our stems as well. So if
right.
anyone wants to do like remixes or just to see behind what's underneath the hood of the songs, they can just isolate the vocals, isolate the drums, the production, and just hear it for themselves. So it's good, and I'm very happy with what we've done with it, and I hope we manage to continue growing it and making it better for our community. So yeah, very passionate about that.
Yeah. Have any like remixes that you really love like come through? Has anyone made anything interesting with your music?
Not yet, but we're hoping some sort of stuff comes through from the inner circle soonish, but we'll see.
Yeah. Well, I guess with the EP, like you'll get more eyes on you anyway. Like so, hopefully there'll just be one around the corner.
Yeah, so totally. And I almost forgot about the inner circle as well. Is that we tried to give back to our community and give them a little platform on our Spotify. So we've got a playlist attached to our artist profile that is submissions from the people in our inner circle and what they're listening to for the
Right.
month. So it's good to like showcase our community to the rest of our fan base on like our main platform for music consumption. So that's also a cool wee thing.
Yeah, definitely. I guess they're then sharing with each other, right? They're kind of making the community like in a like what's the word I'm looking for? Like self-sufficient. It might not be the right word, but I think I don't know if you
Yeah,
know what I
because
mean when I say that.
they give running commentary about like what songs they enjoy from the month as well. So it's really good to see that and
Yeah,
interact with it.
yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, yeah, I guess because you guys are, relatively new, like this being the first EP, but you've still like hit some notable milestones. I think you've been played on, BBC Radio 1. You're an award-winning band as well. You won an award in 2023. Um, what moments so far in your short career so far have like stuck out to you the most? Like, what are the moments you think of the most?
I think for me, well, winning the Scottish Alternative Music Award was mental. Because we weren't expecting it. We'd went to the Samas um because we'd been nominated, but just to enjoy the night. So we'd had quite a few beverages. We were just having a nice night. And then our name got called for Best Metal. And then I got handed a microphone and I had to speak whilst a little bit tipsy. With a speech that was prepared like 5 minutes before we went up, just in case.
Right.
But it was a really fun night, and it's quite it's a very nice award to win in Scotland. Because it's something that I'd always kind of like looked at, but was never in any sort of category that would make sense for it. So it was just like nice to get that kind of recognition. I think also we played our first international gig last year, in
Right.
Bulgaria, which was really cool. And it was also just a really fun experience, which we also got PRS support and funding for. So being able to get all of this so early on has been fantastic to just have support from all over, not just Scotland, not just the UK, but from further afield as well. It's been fantastic.
Yeah, those two are definitely my highlights. And one thing I always remember from the Samas is that we started a little tradition that we'd try and do at every gig at the Samas when we were at the award ceremony, where we should take a really bad selfie, like all of us just looking down at a camera, and that started at the Sam Awards. And we try and keep that for every show.
Yeah.
And then another cool thing that I would say is a big highlight was we had a TV interview for BBC One at
Oh wow.
Samas.
Okay.
That was that was surreal. That was really surreal. Just because being sat down and having like professional like cameras in a proper TV studio like the BBC is bloody mental. So that was a notable highlight for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you have a few drinks before then as well, or are you a bit more clear-headed?
Not for this.
No, no.
That's crazy. Like, but I mean, obviously you're getting all these things for a reason, right? Like people are resonating with the music and stuff. So yeah, you should enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, super
absolutely.
grateful for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think Dylan as well. Like around the time you joined Sixth Window, did you start another band called Blemish? I think.
Yes, that was with my good friend Jamie. So we started that, and it was just a two-man project, and it was just doing post-hardcore-ish. Because I'm a metalcore kid at heart,
Right.
and it was just good to like do some more writing that way. Because before that, I was in an indie band, so like metal and metal adjacent stuff was what my heart was really at. So being able to like do something like that was pretty cool, and yeah, that was fun. And they're still going strong, so I'm proud of the boys in Blemish.
Yeah. And now you're in an award-winning metalcore band. So.
Yeah, so they say.
Yeah.
Metal
Um,
cold gent pub, who knows?
yeah, I mean, you've got like quite a mix of different things, haven't you? Like, I guess it's hard to kind of exactly pinpoint where you guys sit. I don't know, what would you guys say that you are?
Oof. Hard question. Pass. That's still.
Uh, I love this answer. Alternative metal. We are
Mm.
alternative metal.
An alt metal band, okay.
We're an alternative metal band.
Yeah,
We're alternative.
that works. I can see that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, like just talking about your achievements before, like not only, like say you've been on TV, you've been on BBC Radio 1, you've won awards, but you've also, you know, played on stage with bands like Graphic Nature, Gore, Dream State, um, Aramea, Future Static, all these like great emerging bands. What's it been like sharing the stage with them, like, and being on a bill with bands like that?
It's been pretty mad, to be fair. I think like Dream State was our second ever gig. So
Oh,
to
wow, okay.
get that right away was a bit like are you sure? Okay, thank you. We'll take it. You know what? We're gonna say yes before you can change your mind. And to just continually get really, really nice support gigs. Obviously our most recent one being Gore, in London, and that was through Alex Holcomb from Radio 1. It was again another very surreal thing to be part of because we were fans of Gore as well. So like the second the email came through, like, you want to support Gore? Like, fuck yeah, of course I want to support Gore. That's
Yeah.
exciting. Um, yeah, it's just been really nice to get these opportunities and to be consistently getting them and to now be obviously getting them out with of just Scotland and in Glasgow, but obviously like the London one is really nice to start just kind of going further afield.
Yeah, and it's just like good to actually like be able to share our stage with bands you like look up to and like speaking to them and like human beings and like they're really good people as well. And they're really supportive. Like big shout out to Jess Dreamed It. She was so lovely when speaking to her, like just so supportive of the band and just we love that band. Lovely people.
Yeah, definitely. Like I've had all of them, I think, on the podcast in the past, and they're all like lovely people. Which it always makes it better, isn't it? Like especially if like kind of look up to these other bands and artists, like to know that they're actually nice, normal people as well. It's just a bonus as well.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, yeah. So you mentioned before, you went with the title of Prologue for the EP because it's kind of like, I guess signifies the start of something that's about to follow. So what should we expect of Sixth Wonder? What is to follow? Like what's in the foreseeable future for you guys?
Um, Hopefully a lot more music. I can't really give it a good timeline on that, but it's a good start, and hopefully it will be playing a lot more shows and tours, and yeah, building up to maybe a more significant body of work. But we shall see. We shall see.
Keeping it
Don't want to give too much away.
keep it secret for now. Fair enough, guys. What else is have you got any other gigs or tours or anything like that planned for 2025? What else can people expect from you this year?
Yeah, so next up for us, we're playing Aberdeen and Newcastle at the end of July with Archives. They're from Northern Ireland, and we've been wanting to gig with them for ages, so really looking forward to those ones. And then we're playing in Cambridge, I think near the end of August as well. That's part of Echelon and Acadian's kind of double weekender all day fest bill thing. So we're playing with Defenses and Waterlines, and I think we are on the Echelon day as well, along with a bunch of other really cool bands. And that's all we have announced at the moment, but there might be another announcement very, very soon of another one, perhaps, maybe.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yes, yes.
Well, guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Any final words before I let you go and enjoy the rest of your evening?
Stay in school, kids.
Stream Prologue, please.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but stream Prologue.
Well, yeah, guys, thanks again. I'll let you go. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you at a show or something soon.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, Zach.
Take care of yourselves.
See ya.
Bye.
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 And that's it. Thanks so much for tuning in to It's Not a Phase. If you enjoyed this episode, then don't forget to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on any future episodes. Leave a thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. Follow the podcast on social media. And maybe even join the Patreon or grab some merch from the store. You can find everything that you need at itsnotaphase.co.uk. That's itsnotaphase.co.uk. Thanks again. Hopefully catch you on the next one. And remember, it's not a phase, it's a lifestyle.